is in intensive care tonight. News Channel 7's Curtis Ming has the top story.
News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
Gunfire this morning in a Reading neighborhood following what appears to be a family dispute. Good evening, I'm Steve Raml.
And I'm Jennifer Scarborough. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Next on News Channel 7 at 6:30, Richard Levin may take legal action against the county. I'm Curtis Ming. I'll have that story coming up in a live report.
And police may have found some new information on the tragic death of a 6-year-old boy. The news starts now.
News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
A Shasta County man may sue the county following his medicinal marijuana case. Good evening, I'm Gary Gunter.
And I'm Jennifer Scarborough.
News Channel 7 at 5, your local news leader.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rebecca Lacque.
And I'm Gary Gunter. Well, tonight we begin a new newscast. We want to thank you for tuning in right now, and we hope you'll join us every evening at 5.
As in all of our news programming, we'll strive to bring you the latest local news, plus look for unique features in the 5 o'clock news, like a wrap-up of the leading medical stories and interviews on topics that touch our lives.
So give us a look, let us know what you think and what you'd like to see. Now the news tonight. Topping the news in this edition of News Channel 7 at 5, a man is behind bars accused of one of 3 stabbings in Reading this weekend. Now investigators are trying to piece together the other 2 incidents.
News Channel 7's Curtis Ming joins us live from the Reading newsroom with the story. Curtis.
Well, Rebecca, 2 stabbing incidents within 7 hours of each other. Both have Reading police investigators busy. The first incident happened Saturday night at the Castle Lounge on Hartnell. Next at 5:30, the family of a man accused of impregnating his daughter speaks out for the first time. I'm Curtis Ming. The story coming up.
And will President Clinton's health care proposal really work? Find out what locals think.
Then controversy on the bus stops in San Francisco. Are these ads making their point? The news starts now.
News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
The family of a Shasta County man accused of molesting and impregnating his daughter speaks out for the first time. Good evening, I'm Steve Raml.
And I'm Jena Antonchuk. Thank you for joining us.
Next on News Channel 7 at 5:30, wet weather plagues the North State. How did roadways survive? I'm Curtis Ming. I'll have a live report.
We'll show you how this magazine is helping some Trinity High School students make the grade.
Then, Shasta County. Where did the name come from? Was it the Indians or even the Russians? I'm Zack Green. I'll have that story. The news starts now.
News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
Next on News Channel 7, new evidence in the case of a missing Southern California man. I'm Curtis Ming. I'll tell you how it has affected the investigation.
And a Chico woman is facing a murder charge as she admits she killed her baby just hours before a car accident. I'm Rick Barrett. All the details in a live report.
Then racial lines are apparent in North State high schools, but who's to blame? We'll take a look. The news starts now.
News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
North State investigators continue their search for a Southern California man who vanished.
As the parties chose their candidate, more Americans turned to ABC News. As the candidates clashed, ABC News was the most watched network. Now as votes are passed, America again turns to ABC News. Election night turned to News Channel 7. We'll bring you the most comprehensive election coverage in the North State. Live local reports and the most up-to-date information. ABC and News Channel 7.
Next, a hero's welcome for survivors of the USS Cole terrorist attack. At a year of recovery, Shasta County fire victims celebrate. The news is next.
Count on Curtis Ming, News Channel 7. News Channel 7, your local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Andrea Dearden.
And I'm Curtis Ming. Our top story tonight, an emotional hero's welcome home. 33 injured sailors of the USS Cole arrived back in the States today. Some families were anxious to see their loved ones, while others mourn the loss of the 17 sailors. The incident is now considered a suicide bombing. Mike Gooding reports. That was Mike Gooding reporting. Shock and sadness is the mood tonight following another incident, the crash of a small plane carrying a group of Bay Area volunteers on a medical mission in Mexico. A new plan could widen a stretch of the skyway between Magalia and Paradise. And still to come on News Channel 7, it once dominated Shasta County's economy. We'll take you to an event celebrating the copper industry.
Plus, Cottonwood was in stitches today. We'll explain what that's all about.
And it's Halloween time. News Channel 7 puts children first tonight, showing you how you can get the whole family involved.
Also tonight, this Florida native mysteriously found himself in the North State. We'll introduce you to Little Buddy. Stay with us. You're watching News Channel 7 at 11.
Local news leader with news, weather, and sports.
Well, in business briefs tonight, Shasta County businessmen and women hear how to compete, and there's a new ice cream store in the North State.
Here's Gary Gunter. Copper once dominated the economy in Shasta County. Experts say both good and bad signs of it are still visible. Today, they got together to educate the public on the copper industry's rich history.
So happy to have it this year.
That's right. Still to come on News Channel 7, putting children first tonight, creative tips to keep Halloween fun for everyone.
And the story of Little Buddy, a reptile turned school mascot after it mysteriously appeared near a Eureka College campus.
But first, beautiful fall weather plagued the weekend. What will the work week bring? I'll have your forecast. Stay with us.
Well, you know, the fall-like weather reminds us that Halloween is very close. Soon parents will be planning costumes and parties for their families.
And putting children first tonight, Clarissa Douglas reports on some things parents can do to make the holiday fun for everybody. Now, as we were watching that spaghetti thing seemed pretty interesting to me, but you tell me that I live a sheltered life.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
something
common.
that's been
You
done.
go to the Halloween, the haunted houses. They have the different things.
Well,
you
I
were
guess-
taking notes. Do you have your plan?
notes.
Do you have your costume planned?
No, I wait till last minute. Curtis, weren't you a ghost last year? Is that what you?
Yes, I was a ghost last year.
Every year.
Every year
Every
I'm a
year.
ghost.
Okay.
Actually, I'm one of those punks that wear the shirt that says, "This is my costume."
Your muscle shirt. Okay.
Yes.
Big
the
guys.
muscle- Oh, yeah.
Just like in football. Just like the Raiders. Raiders finally get some the day.
Very deserving.
good.
And I have to thank you because I have been looking for my long-lost brother for many years now, and now I can rest
You
easily.
also now know what you're going to wear for Halloween.
I do.
He gave you the idea.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Steve.
We'll be right back.
Quite a surprise for a would-be married couple in San Diego this weekend.
Now, a man was at his wedding rehearsal in San Diego to practice I do when authorities stepped in with a no you don't. The would-be groom from Seattle, arrested on Friday, was identified as a con man with several aliases. Turns out he was on the U.S. Marshals list of the 15 most wanted. Good thing they found out before the wedding.
Talk about ruining the big day.
Yeah.
Well, students at a Northern California college are saying goodbye to an informal mascot affectionately known as Little Buddy.
Now, you see, Little Buddy was spotted swimming in the pond on the campus of the College of the Redwoods in Eureka earlier this summer. After he was captured, Little Buddy was kept in an old bathtub in the science building and lived on a diet of fish and mice.
Yum. The college says it doesn't have permanent facilities to house the crocodile, so this weekend Little Buddy is leaving his temporary home and heading toward Hart's Reptile Farm in Oregon. The caiman crocodile is native to Central and South America and the south tip of Florida. It's still a mystery how he ended up in the college pond.
Well, if you lost your pet, I guess now you know where he
That's
went.
right, go looking for Little Buddy. Well, that's News Channel 7 at 11. Thanks so much for watching.
We hope to see you back here next weekend. Until then, have a great week, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Got that.